Alright, so the initial equation is 2H2 plus 2C plus O2, and then those are the reactants, and then the product is C2H5OH. So the three equations that are given to you are C2H5OH plus 2O2 with the product of 2CO2 plus 2H2O, and then the change in heat for that is negative 875 kJ. And then for the next equation, it's C plus O2 with the product of CO2, and then the change in heat for that is negative 394.51 kJ. And then for the last equation, it's H2 plus 1 half O2 with the product of H2O. And then the change in heat for that one is negative 285.8 kJ. So you're trying to find the change in heat for this initial product or equation. So what you first have to do is you have to flip this first. So for this equation, the C2H5OH is a reactant, and in the initial equation, the C2H5OH is a product. So in order to get these together, you have to flip this equation so that the C2H5OH becomes a product as well. So whenever you flip it, you have to multiply the change of heat, which was negative 875, by negative 1. So that'll change it to a positive. So then for this equation, the C plus O2 with the product of CO2. And the initial equation, there's 2C right here, which means that you have to multiply this whole line by 2 so that this will have 2 in front of it to be the same as the initial equation. So then for this one as well, you have to multiply the whole row by 2 because at the beginning it has 2H2 and this just has 1, so you have to multiply it by 2 to get the 2 in front. So then you multiply both of the changes of heats by 2. So the negative 394.51 turns into negative 789.02, and the negative 285.8 turns into negative 571.6 kJ. So then you have to lay out all of the products and reactants based off your new equation. So the new equation would be 2CO2 plus 2H2O with the product of C2H5OH plus 2O2 because we flipped this equation. And then this one is 2C plus 2O2 with the product of 2CO2 because we multiplied everything by 2. And then this one is H2 plus 2O2 with the product of 2H2O because this whole row is multiplied by 2. So whenever you lay out all of the products and reactants, you have 2CO2 plus 2H2O, and then 2C plus 2O2 and 2H2 plus 2O2 as your reactants. And then for your products, you have C2H5OH plus 2O2, and then 2CO2 and 2H2O. So then you have to cancel out everything. So on the reactants and the product side, there's 2CO2 and 2CO2 right there. So those will cancel out, and then the 2H2O and the 2H2O cancel out, and then the 2O2 and the 2O2 cancel out, which means that you're left with 2H2 plus 2C plus 2O2 with the product of C2H5OH, which is exactly the same equation that you were initially given. So then you have to take all the changes of heat based off whenever you multiplied them by negative 1, 2, and 2, which would be 875 kJ plus negative 789.02 kJ and negative 571.6 kJ. And whenever you add them all up, you get negative 485.62 kJ. So then that's your change of heat for this initial equation. So 2H2 plus 2C plus 2O2 with the product of C2H5OH has the change of heat at negative 485.62 kJ.